Thank you, Dr. Rajan. I'm happy that you are doing a lot of work in the Sri Shankara University, chiefly on the great contributions of Lord Buddha and the transformations mm, that have been taking place all these centuries, and also the transformations taking place even today. Both these, all these underlining the greatness of Lord Buddha as a champion of man's freedom, dignity, happiness, and you might even call it the pursuit of spiritual joy that is essential for every individual. See, of course, there are thousands of books, thousands of books. I mean, as philosophy, as literary works, we have all this. But today, I would like to focus on two texts that have been very, very important in the understanding of Buddhist philosophy, particularly in terms of the lives of Dalits in our country. One is the 1922 long poem by the great Malayali poet Kumaran Asan. The name of the poem is, as all of us know, is Chandala Bhikshuki. And the other is the great Nobel Prize winner, and all about him we are all proud of, Rabindranath Tagore's dance drama, Chandalika. What is common between these two? One, a long poem, and the other, a dance drama. What is common is that the focus of both these texts is the quest for dignity on the part of the downtrodden. The quest for freedom, we can say. And it is more touching in the sense that this quest for freedom and dignity comes on the part of a woman. That's more, and we should certainly congratulate and praise, and I must say, not simply praise, we should heap praise upon both these great poets, Asan and Chandala Bhikshuki, for diagnosing the central problem, you see, a central issue in the Indian context, in the Indian subcontinent. And that, as all of us know, is the Jati issue. And of course, it was Lord Buddha who 2500 years ago addressed this problem, who realized that the only way to break himself, to break the society from the cruel clutches of this Jati system is, they thought, rather Lord Buddha thought, the only way was to break away from that system. Trying to reform that system, Lord Buddha thought was a pointless effort. And so Lord Buddha, when there are so many stories about that, these two poets thought that the lowest of the low also should be part of the larger social arrangement, or what do we call it, social system, that they should be part of it. But can we ever close our eyes to the truth that no, that the entire Dalit community, not only the Dalit communities, even the backward communities, and as the hierarchy goes, almost all communities below the Brahmin community, they are all in a way subservient to another community. And as far as the untouchable community, the Dalits are concerned, they are outside the caste. They are not even treated as individuals. If we start discussing the miserable conditions of Dalits in our country, not only 2,500 years ago, even today, that will take a long time, and that's not my objective, that's not my aim today. I wish to focus upon these two. Primarily, I wish to say that it is always a great mind that zeroes in upon the central political, psychological and sociological issue of a society. And both these great minds, Asan and Tagore, thought that in India, the Dalit girl, the problems of the Dalit girl, she is not even treated as a girl, as a human being. That must be addressed. And actually, both Asan and Tagore, both got the theme from the traditional Buddhist legends. The story of Buddha's favorite disciple, favorite Bhikshu, Ananda. So there's and the story is known to all of us that on a very hot, dry summer day, he was walking around. The Bhikshu was going around the villages of North India, and he felt so very thirsty that he was badly in need of something to drink. So he approached a girl who was drawing water from a well, and he requested her to give him water. All of us know the story. And that is in the story of, the name of the disciple was Ananda. So the moment Ananda approached the well, the girl who was drawing water from the well, she moved away. She was even afraid that she had done something very wrong. So when Ananda requested her to give him water to drink, she got a rude shock. She thought that the disciple, that Ananda had gone mad. So she told him, "Sir, I am an untouchable. I am a charmer by birth. I have no right to give you water, let alone even stand near you." So, allallenda katha idu allalalanga jadi marannuvo. Kumaran Ashan, those are the lines of Kumaran Ashan. And but the radiant face of Ananda, the Bhikshu, he had all the blessings of Lord Buddha. So he calms her tormented mind. "Stay calm, my dear child. I have asked for water alone. Have I asked you what your caste is? No, I haven't. Just give you water. That's the right thing." And she gives water to Ananda. And that moment, I believe, whenever we discuss Buddha or his call for equality amongst people, when he speaks about the necessity of treating every human being with respect, we are reminded of this very great moment in the history of a Dalit girl's life. and that is a man very obviously by his appearance and by his radiance, which as naturally as all stories go, which should be the product of he was a blessed one. Like, because in the sense that Lord Buddha had blessed him, so because he was his face was radiating the spiritual joy that a man should have. So he was the first person to treat her as a human being. So that moment is, this act is the same both in the in Chandala Bhikshuki, the poem of Asan, and Chandalika, the dance drama of Tagore. At this moment, let me first say a few words about Chandalika, Asan. So that girl undergoes a transformation. She realizes that she could join this the sannyasi group of the Buddhas, because as a human being she recognizes that here is respect for me, here is a sense of freedom for me, here is a sense of equality for me. Here is a place where if I join this group, I can be proud of myself as a human being. Nobody will trample upon me for the simple reason that I was born the daughter of a Chandalan. So she joins the Bhikshu Samuha group, and then unexpectedly she was very well received. But later, within the we must realize how deeply rooted the caste feeling was, because the other bhikshus who belonged to different communities, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Shudra, they all raised the banner of revolt, and they asked the question: how could you admit a Chandalika into this sannyasini matha, to be exact? So the issue became more serious than we can imagine. Though everybody speaks of equality, as Jojo will say, some are more equal. Rather, some of the disciples of Lord Buddha who lived in that Buddha Vihara thought that they were more equal than an ordinary Bhikshuki or Bhikshuki who belonged to the Chandalika caste. Finally, there was even a move to throw her out. At that point, the king, the Brahmins, those who raised the revolt, they couldn't agree upon a single point, and so they approached Lord Buddha himself, the Blessed One. And Lord Buddha, even today when we are discussing this, I feel what a very great, all-embracing, universal, what a large-hearted God Lord Buddha must have been, because his mind, there wasn't an atom of doubt in the heart of the Lord. He called them all and he told them, look, what is the difference amongst human beings? A Brahmin is the daughter of a woman. A Chandalika girl is also the daughter of a human being. Every human being born upon this world, basically, they are all human beings. There is no distinction amongst them. The distinctions are all created by us, the narrow-minded, the parochial, selfish society of which we are part. So she is the same as any other Bhikshuki in our Vihara. Treat her as an equal. It was, maybe Lord spoke very softly, but it had the impact of a thunderous spiritual order. Everyone was convinced of their mistake, so she is accepted. This is the point where Asan becomes so very eloquent, We cannot, I honestly don't believe that there has ever been a poem in Malayalam literature. I don't know about other, but in Malayalam literature, Asan's Chandala Bhikshuki is, in every sense of the term, a great classic, because he speaks of freedom. He speaks of the necessity of love. He speaks of treating the Chandalika Dalit as an equal. He speaks of the irrationality of what we call today. Often we say, whenever there is a wrong practice, we say, we have been following this tradition for years. There's a great line where Asan says, today's tradition, what you call this has been the tradition, that was a foolish step. Somebody arrived at so many years ago, and the right thing to do is to change it. And he speaks of love, he speaks of the stupidity of wrong traditions, wrong practices, wrong customs, and then most importantly, Asan reiterates the necessity of treating another human being, particularly, I must say, a woman, with respect, as an equal. She is a human being. Now, while Asan's focus is upon the formation of the Buddha Vihara and treating a woman as a disciple, as an equal with anybody else, but Tagore's is an entirely different text. Actually, both of them are equal only in one sense. That is, in the first, if we can call it a chapter, let us say opening. At the opening of both these, Ananda, the radiant disciple of Lord Buddha, comes, asks, requests for water, and the untouchable girl gives him water, and there's a transformation for the girl. She realizes her own dignity, her own importance, her own value, and her own right to be treated as a human being. That is all. At that point, then there's a divergence. Asan speaks about the necessity of living together in groups as equals, whereas Tagore becomes an indescribably great theatre man. He looks at the dramatic transformation that takes place in the character of a woman. I even today, until we discuss at this moment till now, I have not been able to correctly say who is more important, who is better, because the emphasis of one person is upon society and the other is primarily upon the individual. The transformation in the girl is so dramatic that she falls in love with the man who gave water to. Because Ananda was the first person who spoke to her with words of love. All others, every day, every hour, every moment, the Indian society had stamped her insulted her, humiliated her, and kept her away, calling her, "You are a Chandalika, you are an untouchable, you have no right to stand with the society as a whole." But here, the poor young girl realizes that here is a handsome young man who spoke words of love to her, whose eyes declared to her large heart that here is a man who loves me. Naturally, she falls in love with him. And her name is Prakriti in that play. Prakriti, who went to draw water, is not the Prakriti who returns to the hut. Her mother is flabbergasted by the dramatic change in the daughter. My dear daughter, what has happened to her? She doesn't even see her mother. She breaks into songs. Oh my God, I am a human being. Then she tells her mother, "Mother, I have just met a man. I've fallen in love with him. I want him." Okay, because the mother was famous everywhere as a practitioner of black magic. Oh, you are in love with a man and you want him. Okay, I'll get him to you. Right. Is it as simple as that? Yes. Then who is it? She said, "I am in love with Ananda." The mother got a shock. "You mean to say you are in love with that radiant disciple of Lord Buddha? The one who is respected by the whole world?" "Yes, mother, he is my lover." There was thunder and lightning in the heart of the mother. "My dear child, this is foolish. Abandon it." But as for Chandalika, as for Prakriti, her translation is, she is actually the daughter of nature. That's why her name is Prakriti. And she is Adam, as the story goes, when a woman's mind is set upon an objective, particularly if it is a matter of love, she would get it. And so she prevails upon her illiterate mother to start practice. "Get him back to me. I want him as my man. I love him." Out of helplessness, the mother initiates practice of black magic, horrible black magic to bring. And Ananda, who was just walking from village to village, Ananda suddenly realized that there was something wrong. He couldn't walk because some magnetic force, a negative magnetic force, was drawing him back. In Tagore, in his magnificent representation of the theatrical possibilities of such a situation, Tagore makes it a tormenting conflict in the heart of a mother and a daughter. And it is, as all of you know, it's a fantastic play because it very, very dramatically, very graphically, it represents the conflict in the mind of the girl. And here is an obstinate young girl and a helpless mother. And there is a practice of black magic. And finally, despite all the efforts of Ananda to continue walking towards his Lord, he is drawn back by black magic. He forgets the principles, he forgets the dictums of the Buddhist legends, And there he says, okay, so he's no more the radiant Ananda. He is just a man drawn back to a girl who practices black magic, rather. So he turns, he comes back to the hut, and there, before he reaches that hut, Chandalika, Prakriti's hut, Lord Buddha sees the danger his disciple has fallen in. And Prakriti, who was so obstinate, she got a glimpse of the Ananda who was coming back. He was no more the radiant Ananda. He was just an ordinary man who had become ugly. And so she prostrates before her mother and says, break the spell, mother, break the spell. The mother breaks the spell and falls, collapses, dead on the floor. But she falls upon the feet of Ananda and says, my Lord, Lord, forgive me, forgive me. Lord Buddha sees everything. He forgives the girl. Ananda blesses her. Well, these are, the basic thing is that you are undergoing a transformation, my dear child. So always remember that you are a dignified human being. So the issue is one of dignity. And in Tagore, this the play ends with the words of Lord Buddha, that is, be great, O Lord. But the difference is that while there's a transformation in both cases, one is social and the other is individual. But even the individual transformation we cannot say is within a compartment, no. But both, whether it is Kumaranashan or Tagore, both of them, the message conveyed is very clear, and that is the urge of every human being in this world is to be recognized as a human being. And it was Lord Buddha who gave that message first to our world, that every human being, every man, every woman, everybody is equal. Later, in Kerala, we had to wait for nearly 2,400 years for Srinarayana Guru to give us the same the same message, that that caste is a curse. Caste is a curse. We must get rid of caste, because caste puts you within chains. But I would like to close our this short discussion with one specific instance, that is, Kumaranashan completed writing his long poem in 1922, and Tagore wrote his play in 1933. Both of them, of course, as I told you, both of them were touching the basic issue in the Indian caste-ridden society, and what is the way for freedom? How do you deliver people from that? That's a question. So liberty is the question. All of the, but ironically, one of the professors in our state, while he was writing, comparing Asan and Tagore, in his ignorance, he said that it is possible that that Kumaranashan had read the play of Tagore. Look at the absurdity of it. Our great poet Kumaranashan died in 1924, and Tagore published the play in 1933, 9 years after the death of. Even then, the people who have caste feelings within them, they are eager to undermine the importance of the contribution of a person like Kumaranashan, because he could have checked and seen that a dead man cannot copy. But basically, I wish to conclude saying that these two texts, Chandala Bhikshuki of memorable, I can, if I had the time, I would have quoted, say, some 30 to 35 lines from that long poem, because it is so magnificent, I tell you. And of course, the great impact of Narayana Guru was there in the making of Asan as a great poet. That's another issue. And similarly, Tagore, when we have the time, I think we should discuss, do we have, how many Dalit plays do we have in our country? And even in those plays, how many plays do we have where women are central characters, a Chandalika woman? Very few. And that underscores the necessity of writing, discussing, and creating more works that will contribute to, let me repeat, contribute to the dignity of man, the freedom of man, the equality of man, and the unity of man as, say, people who live amicably in our society as equals. Equality is the important thing, and that's the message of both Tagore and Kumar Nasha. That is what I wish to say. Thank you for promoting this Buddhist thought, Buddhist ideas, and Buddhist spiritual texts through your Center for Buddhist Studies. And I believe the Sri Shankaracharya Buddhist Study Center, of which my friend Dr. Ajay Shekhar is the chairman, and I know, I am aware of the wonderful work that you have been doing in your university to promote equality and friendship amongst people, to free people from the chains of caste, because caste continues to be a curse in our country. And until that chain is broken, we cannot say that we are a free country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.